The Ocean Between Us. Chapter 3. Fire on Water. The war escalates. Love is tested. The sea answers in fire. Episode 1. A Breach in Heaven. The Leviathan lingered at the surface for 3 days. Satellites hovered above like mechanical vultures. Warships surrounded it like a floating noose, their weapons trembling with indecision. The world was holding its breath, unsure whether to shoot or kneel. On board the stealth cruiser Valiant Wind, Kale and Alara remained at the epicenter of a miracle, or a prelude to apocalypse. Kale watched her as she gazed through the viewport, bathed in the bioluminescent shimmer of the Leviathan's scales. She was still Alara, but she wasn't. Not entirely. She rarely slept. She could sense vibrations in the water without instruments. She no longer read screens. She felt data as emotion. She had become something new. The sea's voice wrapped in a woman's form. "Do you regret it?" he asked her softly. She didn't look at him, but he saw the corners of her lips twitch. "Becoming this? No, leaving me behind." At last, she turned. Her eyes were sea glass. Clear, honest. "I never left you. I was always swimming toward you." Before Kale could speak again, the ship shuddered. A sonic boom echoed through the hull. Alara's face turned pale. They fired. Episode 2. The First Shot. A missile had launched from a Western Alliance cruiser, the Aegis Nova. Alara knew the name. Its captain was Admiral Velen, an old war hawk who had warned the Council against letting myths sway strategy. He saw the Leviathan not as a miracle, but as a target. The missile streaked across the sky like a second sun. It was nuclear grade, with an EMP core designed to disable sea-based threats before impact. Alara stepped forward, raised her hand toward the glass, and sang. Not a song of beauty. A command. The sea rose. A wall of water, solid as stone, erupted from the surface and swallowed the missile mid-flight. A second explosion cracked the sky, but only steam followed. No fire, no death. Alara turned to Kale. They've declared war. Episode 3. Tribunal of Tides. In the ruins beneath the trench, a meeting was called, not of governments, but of beings. Alara was summoned into the depth once more, the Leviathan acting as her guide. There, in chambers lit by coral flame and lined with statues of long-forgotten deities, she met 3 others like her. One bore gills and golden skin. A Pacific deepkin named Morlo. Another had eyes like whirlpools and veins of starlight, Narava, of the Arctic bloom. The third was young, nervous, still changing, Alan, a Mediterranean sonar adept just awakened. "You are the last to sing," Morlo said. "The surface moves against us. We must respond." Alara stood tall. "Not in blood." "They fired first," Narava snapped. "The pact is broken." But Alan whispered, "She speaks the balance. The Leviathan chose her." Alara knew the truth. If the sea struck back in full, humanity would fall. And with it, everything. She offered a third path. Diplomacy through demonstration. The sea would defend, not destroy. The tribunal agreed. Barely. Episode 4. The Human Divide. Back on land, the world fractured. News agencies painted Alara as a siren, a witch, a traitor, or a goddess. Religious groups saw the Leviathan as a divine test. Scientists clashed over its nature. Governments prepared contingency plans. Kale stood before the UN Crisis Council, flanked by Dr. Lind and survivors of the Valiant Wind. "She is not the enemy," Kale shouted. "You are afraid of what you cannot control. But fear does not justify extinction." A general leaned forward, calm and cold. "If we let it live, how long before it calls others?" Kale replied without hesitation. "They're already here. Watching how we treat the first." Episode 5. Fire on Water. The second wave of conflict was not state-sponsored. It came from a rogue nation, Vashara, a splinter state with stolen tech and a belief in oceanic dominance. They deployed a biosonic torpedo, the Scalebreaker, engineered from harvested Leviathan cells and forged with abyssal magma. Its target, the Leviathan's heart. As it sped toward the deep, Alara felt it. She collapsed in Kale's arms, her chest convulsing with pain that wasn't hers. "They're trying to kill it," she gasped. "I can't stop it alone." Kale made his choice. He signaled to an old friend, a pirate sub-captain named Riken, who owed him blood and loyalty. The hunt was on. Episode 6. The Pirate and the Angel. Riken's vessel, the Hollow Star, was not Navy-made. It ran on silence and greed, but this time, its mission was redemption. Alara stood at the helm, her glow dimmed, her breath short. Riken whistled. "She really part sea creature, or is this just a hell of a hangover?" Kale punched him. "She's saving your miserable life. That's all you need to know." With Alara's guidance, they navigated narrow rift currents faster than any AI mapping system. The Scalebreaker was nearly in range. Then they saw it. The torpedo was alive, pulsing like a heart, wrapped in bone and shell, teeth clamped tight around its core. Alara sang. The torpedo shuddered. But it did not stop. Episode 7. The Leviathan Bleeds. It struck. Not the Leviathan's core, but its side. A wound tore open. Blood blacker than night bled into the sea. The ocean screamed. Whales fled. Coral cracked. The sky turned copper above the trench. Alara collapsed, sobbing without tears. Kale held her close, his face a mask of rage. The Leviathan didn't die. But it began to sink. Kale looked to Alara. "You said you were changing. Can you save it?" She looked up, eyes distant. "Not alone." Episode 8. The Choir Awakes. Alara sang. Not a command, but a call. Across oceans, other Leviathans stirred. Deep rumbles were felt in the Mariana Trench. Ice shelves cracked in Greenland. The Nile roared with forgotten voices. Morlo, Narava, Alan. They answered. And with them, came the choir, not of people, but of oceanic sentience. A wave of awakened sea beings, forgotten tribes, even intelligent octopuses who remembered the pact. The ocean came alive. The battle was no longer military. It was cosmic. Episode 9. Betrayal Above. As Alara prepared for a ritual to heal the Leviathan, betrayal struck. Dr. Lind, afraid of what was coming, activated a distress beacon. "We can't let this go beyond us," she said. "We have to contain it." She didn't realize she had triggered a global failsafe. Operation Saltfire, nuclear cleansing. Kale tried to stop her. Too late. The missiles launched. Every Leviathan location. Every choir signal. Alara wept. And then, she rose. Episode 10. Fire on Water. Alara stood at the eye of the Leviathan storm. Missiles streaked toward the ocean from 7 nations. Alara raised her hands. The choir rose behind her, Morlo, Narava, Alan, and others uncountable. Together, they sang. Not to destroy. To unmake. One by one, missiles dissolved midair, turned to salt and light. But the toll was great. The Leviathan shuddered. Its wound widened. Alara fell. Kale ran to her, screaming. Her last words that night: "I gave everything to save them. Promise me, Kale, they'll learn." He held her as the ocean surged around them, lifting them into the sky, wrapped in light, wrapped in song. End of chapter 3. Fire on Water.